so now I'm sitting here with Andrey Tagarev from ONTOTEXT, and you work on a tool called the database of known fakes. Can you shortly explain what it is and what it's supposed to do?
Yeah, sure. So it starts with collecting debunking articles from around the world, mostly focusing on covering all the European countries, but we do have global coverage in over 30 languages. The idea is that we get those articles and we actually use NLP tools to enrich them and make connections and discoveries within the articles more straightforward. So the way we envision people actually using it is discovering content reuse globally. So maybe a piece of disinformation was posted in a different language at a different time, maybe an image or a video, or in the future possibly an audio file was used or a similar one was used. So overall the idea is that we build on top of the articles with additional information, like we discover what distinctive concepts are mentioned within the article and are important to the debunk. We discover mentions of events. We index the text and the images and the videos to make them searchable. And ultimately our goal is kind of twofold. One more straightforward approach, but quite challenging technically, is a way to grab basically a social media post or maybe a news article and search for the whole thing within the database of known fakes and possibly discover relevant debunks. So the system won't tell you this thing is false and here's the proof, but it might tell you here's a list of debunks, these two seem very relevant to the thing you gave me and this one seems like it could be relevant. Then of course the person still has to actually read them. Mm-hmm. We also have the idea of what Martin was talking about with the narratives. So we aim to model them and make them usable for people in a way where a person can build a description of a narrative while using the database of known fakes. So again, it's not a fully automated process, but the person knowing kind of what the important concepts are, maybe when the narrative took place or in what language, they can get backup information from the debunking articles and possibly from social media posts that help them build the detailed background of how this narrative developed, where pieces of content reused within it came from. So maybe it's a narrative that takes place in Germany, but some of the disinformation was earlier discovered in France or Spain or South Africa or wherever. So it can build up information for how this thing spread and get reused.
So two questions. The first one is, how do you make sure that you have trusted content in your database? Because I think this is crucial for the target of this tool.
Yeah, so that's an issue we've kind of tackled multiple times. So far we're using member organizations of the IFCN, and we don't cover all of them obviously, but our goal is to work together with the journalists to make it as easy for them to provide their content for indexing as possible. And we always redirect back to their websites. So part is, of course, member organizations of the IFCN, and the second part is that we're always transparent about who wrote the debunk, and we link directly to the source so that people can do their own judgments, basically.
Okay, so right now, if I get it right, you kind of scrape other websites to get the content, and do you envision also to feed like information from the users of the database right into it, like with labeling or things like that?
So it's a mix currently of getting information from the websites and also through different kinds of APIs or RSS feeds that the organizations provide. Feeding information back is kind of a complex thing because there's no single system to feed it back into, but we are working towards collaboration with EFCSN for the European debunkers to work with the system they are working to develop and give them our information and enrichments back.